failed to warn about this addiction. If you or a loved one took Abilify and then became addicted to gambling, you may be owed money.
Call the Becker office for a free evaluation.
WLKY weather, available on 103.9 The Hawk.
CBS Sports presents the Verizon Halftime Report.
And welcome back to our New York studio and the Verizon Halftime Report. Get NFL Mobile to watch live, local, and primetime games, highlights, NFL Red Zone, and more, all without using any data, only on Verizon. I'm James Brown here with the full house, Tony, Coach Bart, and Boomer. To the highlights.
Let's go. We're up to Lambeau Field, JB, in the snow. Aaron Rodgers has been dissecting that Houston defense, over 200 yards of passing in the first half. Here he finds Randall Cobb, 9 yards out, 7-0 they lead at halftime.
All right, guys, the duel in the dome between the Saints and the Lions. There's Morton Anderson and Archie Manning, two of the great Saints greats. And how about Matthew Stafford? He's going to find Theo Riddick right there for the touchdown pass. They're going to be leading 13-6 at halftime. New Orleans struggling on offense.
All right, Chiefs at the Falcons. You're going to see Alex Smith take the handoff. He's going to hit Spencer Ware in the flat for his second touchdown of the day. And moments ago, you're going to see Matt Ryan drop back, throw this pass. It's intercepted by Aaron Perry for his third interception of the year. He's going to do the rest. He's going to get a nice convoy of blocking. Derek Johnson scores the touchdown. He gives the ball to his mom. Chiefs are up 2013.
Broncos at Jacksonville. Paxton Lynch getting a start. But this is easy when you can give it to the running back. He does the rest. He fights all the way. 6 yards for the touchdown. Denver up 10-3 at the half.
All right, it's a Joe Flacco type of day down in Baltimore right now as they're going against the Miami Dolphins. He's 27 of 34, 258 yards and 3 touchdowns. Dennis Pitta has 2 of those touchdowns. They're up 24-0 at half.
All right, New England, no Gronk, no problem. Tom Brady keeps rolling. He's going to throw this beautiful pass, back shoulder to Chris Hogan for the touchdown. 17-22, 1 touchdown for Tom. 17-0. Patriots.
Andy Dalton, no A.J. Green, but he has no problem. 8 different receivers, 200 yards passing, and Jeremy Hill takes this one over. They are all over the Philadelphia Eagles. They lead 19-0.
Wow. It's windy in the Windy City, and the weather is starting to come into play as both quarterbacks have struggled through the air, but Chicago is taking the lead to squeak out 7-6 at halftime.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the first half, his defense, we talked about them being banged up, but boy, Dom Capers has got them playing well. And the one thing I like is their tackling. You see the forced fumble right there. They get the ball back. Again, you can see the running game. Lamar Miller, nowhere to go. And again, the big stops that come, negative yards for rushing, and then a big 4th and 1 stop right here. The defense has come to play today. But again, you know, the one thing is it's still a 7-0 game, but the Green Bay Packer defense has been very impressive.
Really interesting, Coach, that Bill O'Brien went for it on 4th and 1 in that situation. I believe he had the wind to his back. He could have played the field position game if he really wanted to. You know, with the weather like this, I always think that it does favor the offense, but it doesn't seem like that's happening right now. So, if you are playing against Aaron Rodgers, why would you go for it in that situation?
Well, I mean, Houston's only 1 play away. I mean, as much as Green Bay's dominated this first half, you know, it's still just a 7-0 game.
Yeah, when you think about it, though, with Green Bay, and we talked about it, if this defense can get going and the way Aaron Rodgers can play and knows how to play at this time of year, this could be a dangerous football team. Well, I wouldn't count them out by any means yet.
Well, Aaron Rodgers is used to playing in these type of elements. You talk about Houston, a team that's used to playing in the dome, playing in the South Division. You know, they're not used to understanding how to take the win, how to use the weather to your advantage, take your shots down the field. And as a defense, you have to understand when the offense has the win, because when those shots are going to come. Otherwise, when they don't have the win, you sit on the sticks and you jump routes.
You know, and the struggles continue for Brock Osweiler. I don't necessarily know that this is the kind of environment that I would expect them to go out there and throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, but it is obviously a chore right now for them on offense.
It's a work in progress. No
Any correlation to the fact that Gary Danielson's in the studio and no mistakes at all in this?
I think that has a lot to do with it.
Has a lot to do with it. Verizon Halftime Report continues.
CBS Sports presents the Verizon Halftime Report. Watch live, local, and primetime games on NFL Mobile without using any data. Only on Verizon.
With every pass, every kickoff, every run back, with every single down, you feel it. Your heart rate accelerates. Blood vessels dilate. Your breathing speeds up. Pupils enlarge. Claim your place in the jungle, because it's not the same if you're not at the game.
I catch passes in below freezing temperatures. In Pittsburgh, in December, that's what it takes to earn the right to wear this gear.
Excuse me, Mr. Green. I got that same gear for my grandson at NFLshop.com.
You have wonderful taste.
Thank you.
The best place to get authentic NFL gear this holiday, NFLshop.com.
Get the Verizon Halftime Report live online every Sunday. Brought to you by Verizon. Visit cbssports.com/Verizon.
Monday, it's a 21st century love story.
My boyfriend's in my purse.
But every power couple
My boyfriend is dying!
has their struggles.
Can I plug my date in anywhere?
And there's nothing like the real thing.
Hey. That's no small talk.
A new Two Broke Girls followed by a special Big Bang Theory. CBS Monday, 9/8 Central.
Watch every live, local, and primetime game on your phone with NFL Mobile. It's the best. And I'm the best. Exclusively on Verizon.
Hey, go three. 1, 2, 3.
Wide open, the running back. That is a touchdown. Terrence West.
Freeman, touchdown. To the end zone, touchdown.
2nd and 10, touchdown. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns.
In a very active offensive first quarter. That's a nice way to put it.
Caught for the touchdown. Randall Cobb with the catch and a snow angel.
Tom Selleck stars in a new Blue Bloods. CBS this Friday.
Halftime means time for a refill. Liquor Barn has the best selection and the lowest prices guaranteed. Nobody beats Liquor Barn.
Is it a force of nature or a sales event? The season of Audi sales event is here.
In West Philadelphia, born and raised, on the playground was where I spent most of my days. Chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool, and shooting some b-ball outside the school. When a couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood, I got in one little fight and my mom got scared and said, Arby's, we have the meats.
Liquor Barn, Kentucky's hometown liquor store for all your wine, spirits, and beer. Shop Kentucky's largest bourbon selection and choose from over 1,000 great beers. Liquor Barn has the best selection and the lowest prices guaranteed. Nobody beats Liquor Barn.
WLKY, honored with the Overall Excellence Emmy 3 years in a row.
Viagra single packs, so guys with ED can take Viagra when they need it.
Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain or Adempas for pulmonary hypertension. Your blood pressure could drop to an unsafe level. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease or loss in vision or hearing.
Ask your doctor about Viagra single packs.
Seven 0 Green Bay, getting set for Houston to kick the football to the Packers to begin the third quarter. Only 211 total yards of offense by the two teams combined in that first half. And follow your favorite team all season long. Go to iTunes.com/NFL. When your team like Houston has been struggling all season to get a spark offensively, then you run into conditions like this.
Yeah.
It's really tough. They've only, in the last 15 drives that they've had going back to last week, no touchdowns, 2 field goals.
It's I listened to the halftime and they said it's a work in progress. That's an understatement. They're really struggling. You know, I got a great view of the game here, watching and seeing. You don't see people open down the field. You know, Brock Osweiler ran the football a few times. You know, they had one chance near midfield. They go for it on 4th. Well, why? Because the opportunities are so few. They got to take advantage of some of those opportunities. But by and large, their defense did a good job containing Aaron Rodgers and the Packers offense. So that's something they got to be proud of.
And the one touchdown was Aaron Rodgers to Randall Cobb early in the second quarter. There are the numbers from the first half.
And you know, too, I know there's a slippery field and all that, but you don't get over a hamstring injury like Aaron Rodgers had on Monday night and come out here on Sunday and be, of course, we know he's not 100%, but just think he's been a little protective of it, and it shows maybe even some of his decision-making being very careful of where he throws the football.
Looking at all those numbers, the thing that really stood out the most, the longest play of the game for Houston was a 13-yard pass play to Fiedorowicz late in the second quarter. And the longest play for the Packers in the first half was a 10-yard run by Ripkowski as well as a 10-yard catch by Cook. That's it.
That's it. You know, I'll tell you this, I'll say this about Houston. When they spread the football or their formations out, we saw those Fiedorowicz catches right there at the end. You're going to get some more space in the middle of the field for him. And it makes the defense declare. I think they have a harder time blitzing if you spread the offensive out on the Houston side, and might see some more of that here in the second half.
Montgomery and Janis stand at the goal line for Green Bay. Packers trying to get back to 500 on the season. Nick Novak to kick it. He had that successful onside kick, just a little bit of a chance at the end of the game against San Diego before the game ended with an intercepted Hail Mary. Here's Janis. And runs out of room. And runs into Alfred Blue. All right, Tracy, what did you hear at halftime?
Well, I spoke with Mike McCarthy about Aaron Rodgers, and he said certainly the hamstring, the slick field, is limiting him, but he said it all comes down to first and second effort. He said we need to get guys out in space more. As for Bill O'Brien, he said the conditions are tough, but he said they need to get their offense going, and you can tell he was just tired of talking about trying to get this struggling offense going. He said he wants to see them throw the ball downfield more. Jim?
All right, they had only one pass that was down the field. It was an overthrow. No one was open. But again, it's hard to execute anything that you think you set up for all week long. And the longest play of the game is 13 yards. That's Starks. Met at the line for no gain.
Whitney Merciless came from the outside, made a great hit.
Since week 8, this Houston defense of Romeo Crennel's has been the best rush defense in the league, giving up under 60 yards a game on the ground. So far, they've held Green Bay to 34 rushing.
It's aggressive defense. When you look at Houston, of course, we talked about the injuries that the guys are missing, but they've held up well without those guys. And I think they can try to pressure Rodgers, because I would have faith in these defensive backs covering one-on-one outside.
We saw Merciless. He had a fumble recovery in the first quarter. That was the first red zone takeaway of the season for Houston. And it's Merciless again making a play. We had just mentioned him with the fumble recovery in the first quarter. Now he's got the sack.
Well, Merciless, excellent job. You talked about his run defense. Here he comes against David Bakhtiari, the left tackle. Well, it's just a hand war with the offensive tackle and the defensive end. Merciless that time, and he won and got the sack on Aaron Rodgers. Hard to get sacks on Aaron Rodgers. His movement, the short passing game, that time he couldn't get rid of the football too quick. Let the defense get there.
That's the first sack of the game for the Texans. And it makes it 3rd and 19. Montgomery underneath. Was hit a couple of times and stopped about 8 yards short of the first. It's Dips who chopped them up, gain of 10.
Tell you, McKinney, merciless. We saw Cushing on the force out one time. The defensive backs haven't given them the credit. Houston's defense pretty good in this game so far.
Yes, they are. They have been. Shump the punt for the 4th time. This is returnable. And Fuller from the 22 goes wide. Tries to accelerate and gets out to about the 36 with a penalty marker on the field.
And just see, they made a good defensive stop. They get good field position. It's going to be brought back most likely for an illegal block.
And I'm watching the sideline over on the Houston side, and they are not happy with that flag that was thrown. That was a 48-yard punt with a 16-yard return by Will Fuller. And it looks like it's open for discussion with Steratore team of officials.
There is no foul for a block in the back. First down, Houston. Timeout.
So Texans made it known they thought it wasn't a penalty, and eventually the officials agreed.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm pumped you guys fly to Belize. Maybe I should go to Jamaica. Can I have one of those drinks in a coconut with a tiny umbrella?
Yes to low fares to faraway places. We thought you'd like that. That's transparency.
Hey, Megan. Can we put Dancer and Prancer back in their stable?
If you let your stripper girlfriend put my children on her motorcycle, I will Gone Girl you so hard. You can go ahead.
I'm just gonna go in. Hey, so are you gonna be inviting your fake girlfriend to the holiday party later? I mean, I just wanna make sure you have time to inflate her.
Come on, let's party.
Office Christmas Party, rated R. In theaters Friday.
It's the holidays at Verizon, and the best deals are on the best network.
Yes!
With no surprise overages, you can use your data worry-free and even carry over the data you don't use. And right now, get 4 lines and 20 gigs for only $40 per line. And just for the holidays, get the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge for only $15 per month. No trade-in required.
I love you in that. No, I love you in that. No, I love you in that.
Hurry, these offers end soon. Get the best deals and the best network only on Verizon.
Monday, Colbert's all new with Jason Bateman. Then Tuesday, Steven sits down with Vice President Joe Biden.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
All new Colbert all this week.
This broadcast is copyrighted by NFL Productions for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of NFL Productions is prohibited.
You see this graphic. This is what we alluded to at halftime, Phil. Last 15 drives, 5 giveaways, 2 field goals, no touchdowns.
Well, Bill O'Brien argued with the officials. He won the battle. Max Bulla, they were calling an illegal block on him. It was not. It was a good pickup of the flag, and Houston's got good field position to start this drive and get off that 0 you just showed.
There's a first snap in the second half, and it's batted down by the Packer defensive front. Might have been Dean Lowry, who's already had a sack in this game. And the picked up flag on the punt return. I'll show you what happened here.
Yeah, come down slow. Here comes the block right there. Just puts his hand out. Could have been another one, but I think that's the one because just the way they were all upset. The flag came from behind Bulla. It tells me, but still good no call.
2nd and 10, Miller, who has certainly been contained today. That's now 9 carries for 11 yards.
Trying to get in good third down position. The first play, Fiedorowicz was open, but Lowry knocked the pass down, so that kind of put him by the old cliche behind the chains. I love that one a lot. Behind the chains. But It is 3rd and long. Packers in the first half were aggressive with their looks and blitzes. What will they do here?
3rd and 9. Texans confirming that Braxton Miller with that late first half shoulder injury will not return today. Osweiler plants the feet, finds the open man. And Houston finally has a strike. That's Buller with the catch for 24.
Yep, really tremendous job in the pocket. Watch 17, Brock Osweiler. They got like a spy, not a spy, somebody covering the back, but he moved in the pocket, found the second receiver. Fiedorowicz doesn't like it. Here comes Ian cut behind. Good throw.
Play action and the pass to Fiedorowicz for another 8, maybe 9 as the Texans get something going here.
Well, you could feel it. The stop, the sack of Aaron Rodgers. It quieted the crowd. If that doesn't give you a little life on the Houston sideline, what's going to? And then you get the break. They pick up a flag. And they've done a good job taking advantage of that situation.
By the way, for Green Bay, the linebackers, Jake Ryan and Nick Perry, knocked out in the first half. They're back out there. They've been in on this series.
Well, that's a big deal. 2 good players, one inside, Nick Perry outside, and maybe their best pass rusher.
Here's a 2nd and 2. And Miller takes him head on for the first down.
There's a safety, Clinton Dix, up in there making the tackle. You know, now you got some first downs. Get the rhythm, get the pace going. That's what you need to do on the offensive side.
The 24-yard pass play to Fuller was the first time Houston has converted today on a 3rd down pass.
Tight splits by the wide receivers.
Fake to Miller. That is Hopkins with his first catch of the game. And another first down.
Tight splits, so what they do, you got the corners that stay outside, so that gives you a little room to the inside, and that's why they were in there tight. Nice play action fake. Design, play call, really good.
Picks up 11.
You know, it's like something in you as a defensive back, the alarm goes off. You go, wait, you don't usually line up there, so it's kind of a giveaway that something different's coming.
First down at the 15. Lowry coming in on pass to the end zone, just out of reach for Fiedorowicz. Lowry almost got to Osweiler for a 2nd time today.
You know, you got Fiedorowicz, big, tall target. Lowry pressures Osweiler, but 87 going down the field, little double move. Oh, man, if he'd had just a beat more, that's a throw, Jim. He'd like to just throw it high and just behind the receiver. He could have turned and caught it. But he didn't have a chance to see it well enough because of the pressure by Lowry.
On 2nd down, Miller manages 4 out of very little room.
Suafilo comes around the left guard. I could hear the hit from up here.
Third down Texans. 3rd down and 6 from the 11. Threatening for the first time in this game. They go to Grimes. And he is going to be stopped short. Oh, it's close, but I don't believe he got there. In fact, it's going to be just inside of a yard away. What will they do here?
Oh, they're going to go for it.
They've already been stopped once on 4th and 1.
I know, and if they get stopped, everybody can second guess. That's what they do. But this is, to me, it's a no-brainer. It's tough sledding, tough to get in this position. The big thing here is, do you have a play that's got some deception to it? I like this being in the shotgun.
Short yardage has been tough today with the poor footing and all for each team. Hopkins shifting around. Dancing around twice, and it ends up being a timeout, Houston.
Might be a good timeout, just for the fact that Green Bay had everybody up near the line of scrimmage playing run 100%.
Of course, if you fail to pick up the first here, you've pinned, at the least, you've pinned Green Bay back at their own 6 or 7 yard line, but you're not giving her a chance at least to put points on the board for the first time.
Yep, I do understand that, but you know, I'm looking at this, and this is not a yard. This is a foot.
Well, their earlier 4th and 1, they ran blue for no gain. O'Brien ready to gamble again.
Yep.
McCarthy looks on. The running back is Miller. Going up top for it. Going to the end zone. And it is pulled down for the touchdown by Ryan Griffin.
Wow, good throw. The coverage was outstanding. They took away the first receiver. They were trying to go to DeAndre Hopkins, and they had him covered.
And Griffin gets to enjoy a Lambeau leap because he found a little cluster of Houston fans in that corner.
Then watch the back of the end zone. Oh, man, that was just a good second read. Ryan Griffin just pushes off. Watch 84. Just pushes and gets separation. And Brock Osweiler, he used all 6'7" of his height to throw the ball over the jumper in front of him.
Nothing's a gimme today. Novak with the extra point.
Rollins had no chance covering Griffin there because of the push.
It's a 63-yard drive in 10 plays. Now to tie it.
Well, that was a gutsy call.
Boy, was it ever. Novak's kick is dead center. 7-7. Houston's first touchdown in 78 minutes and 39 seconds of game action. Going back to last week.
I'm Claudine, and I quit smoking with Chantix. By the time I was 30, I said, that's it, I'm a smoker for life. I wanted to be a non-smoker, and I did it, thanks to Chantix.
Along with support, Chantix Varenicline is proven to help people quit smoking.
Chantix reduced my urge to smoke.
Some people had changes in behavior, thinking or mood, hostility, agitation, depressed mood, and suicidal thoughts or actions while taking or after stopping Chantix. Some reported seizures or sleepwalking with Chantix. If you have any of these, stop Chantix and call your doctor right away. Tell your doctor about any history of mental health problems, which could get worse, or of seizures. Don't take Chantix if you've had a serious allergic or skin reaction to it. If you have these, stop Chantix and call your doctor right away, as some can be life-threatening. Tell your doctor if you have heart or blood vessel problems or develop new or worse symptoms. Get medical help right away if you have symptoms of a heart attack or stroke. Decrease alcohol use while taking Chantix. Use caution driving or operating machinery. Most common side effect is nausea.
This is for real. I'm a non-smoker.
Ask your doctor if Chantix is right for you.
Let's put a new spin on gift giving and go to a place with the best gifts and best brands all in one place. Let's put something under the tree that will get used all year. Get a free power tool or battery when you buy select combo kits. Only at the Home Depot.
It's your TV. Take it with you. With DirecTV and AT&T, stream live TV anywhere, data free. Join DirecTV today, starting at $35 a month. No extra monthly fees.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Amazon Prime. Get free 2-day shipping on millions of items. And by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Well, the Cheeseheads see that they've got themselves in quite a little tussle hill with the Texans.
Yep.
7-7 as the Houston offense comes to life here with its first drive of the second half.
I swear, I think it started with that sack of Aaron Rodgers, and it just field position, everything, and great energy and good execution by the Texans in that drive.
Field position that stood up as they picked up the flag on that punt return. This is Montgomery. Still on his feet, 30, 40. Running out of room at about the 45. It's going to be a run back of 39 yards. And the Packers will like where they'll set up shop in a moment.
Love smart solutions? Try the Philips Norelco Shaver 5000. Re-engineered to follow the contours of your face. It's twice as comfortable as our top-selling shaver. Be your best you. Innovation and you. Philips Norelco. Save up to $50 on Philips Norelco.
23rd time's the charm.
Boom. Yes. 23rd time is the charm, Cliff.
Yeah, you showed me. Yes, you did.
This must be how Odell Beckham feels when he scores the game-winning touchdown.
This must be how Shelley felt when she won that purple bear. Pepsi.
I used to ask if you could hear me now, but I switched to Sprint. Their network reliability is now within 1% of Verizon. And get this, with Sprint's new unlimited plan, you have the freedom to do virtually whatever you want.
Is there no worrying about gigabytes, megabytes, overages, billphobia?
That's the dream right there.
Well, then Mama is gonna text, ping, post, tweet, snap.
Can you hear that?
Don't let a 1% difference limit your freedom. Switch and get unlimited mobile optimized data, talk, and text. $20 per line for a family of 5. It's the best price for unlimited. Happy holidays from Sprint.
Criminal Minds. New episode, CBS Wednesday, 9/8 Central.
The division standings for each team coming in. Houston, actually, because it's not lost a division game, 3-0, would be in first even with a loss at the end of the day. Meanwhile, Green Bay, though, has to be careful. Detroit's leading by 10 in the third quarter down in New Orleans. They're coming into the weekend 2 games back of the Lions, and wild card scenarios are not really relevant for either one of these teams.
It's all about the division. That's your first goal. Win your division. That's what they got to do.
Play action and looking long. Looking for Adams. And the Texans had that covered up. Double coverage. In fact, Boye, one of them back there. Week 13 continues later today on Fox. And then we'll see the Giants and the Steelers tonight on NBC. Carolina at Seattle. ESPN tomorrow night. Indianapolis at the Jets. All bundled up. Mike Agard and Mike Stahl.
Tell you what, we're shooting everything there, but those cameras are well protected. I'll say that.
Mike Agard, he's used to these elements. He lives right here in the area.
No.
Travels out of here every week to do our game of the week. 2nd and 10. And that's a gain of 1.
With Brian Cushing in the backfield. You know, Green Bay, they're just not going to get in this formation and just run the ball consistently. It's been so long since they've done it because the running backs have been hurt. Their offensive linemen, you know, you kind of lose an edge a little bit as a run blocker because they have been so reliant on the pass game, the quick pass game especially.
Think about all the different things they've tried to do at Green Bay to salvage the running game with, I mentioned earlier, the Lacey injury, and also Starks missing a lot of time. They brought in Niall Davis. Brought in now Christian Michael had that last carry. Ty Montgomery out of the backfield. 3rd and 9. They've missed their last 6 third down attempts, and this is going to make it now 7. As Cobb is tackled a couple yards short by Boye, who's making a lot of plays.
Yeah, well, look, he's making a lot of plays. This is nothing new for him. He's been playing well ever since he's been in that starting lineup. And excellent cover guy, Mike McCarthy, 4th and a good 2 yards.
Yep.
Is lined up to go for it. Now this time, I would punt it. Back him up. Play for the next drive. We'll see if he hard counts him right here.
Timeout, Houston. That's the second timeout already used by the Texans in the third quarter.
Somebody's not happy about it. Of course, that's Bill O'Brien. Maybe caught him off guard a little bit. Go back to Boye. That's Jim, just said they have faith in these corners. Romeo Crennel. And they've done a good job. They've been on these receivers today for the Packers. Tight. Aaron Rodgers 13 of 19 for 85 yards. Yeah, I know the field. I know all that. I'm just saying, if it's drive fast conditions, I'd still have pretty good faith in the Houston corners.
Well, this is a secondary or a defense that has the last 2 weeks gave up 3 touchdown passes to Derek Carr, and then another 3 to Phillip Rivers last week. Those are the last 2 games.
Yeah, double moves, couple really unique plays by the Oakland Raiders to do it. We'll get some of those touchdown passes.
4th and 2. Are they just going to try to draw him off? Nope, they're going for it. Indeed, Ripkowski driving, churning, and held back. Cushing had him on one side. Well, there's a spot from the far side.
One official gives it to him, the other one didn't. Let's see which one gets it. But what a difference, though. I'm telling you, the officials came running in from both sides.
Yep, one had a far different spot.
I'd say almost like a yard. And that was, I think that was DJ Reader. Yeah, it was. Number 98. Came down there, DJ Reader, being schooled by a guy, Vince Wilfork. You were talking about that before the game with me, Jim.
Wilfork has been so good to guys like Reader and Heath. I just watching this, I didn't think he had it.
No, by the eye, when we watched the play, it did not look like he got it, and he's way short.
Same spot on the field where the Texans were denied on a 4th down attempt earlier in the game. Houston takes over on downs. Game tied.
It's the holidays at Verizon, and the best deals are on the best network.
Yes!
With no surprise overages, you can use your data worry-free and even carry over the data you don't use. And right now, get 4 lines and 20 gigs for only $40 per line. And just for the holidays, get the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge for only $15 per month. No trade-in required.
I love you in that. No, I love you in that. No, I love you in that.
Hurry, these offers end soon. Get the best deals and the best network only on Verizon.
So my daughter tells me you don't eat meat.
Nope.
Vizio 60-inch 4K Ultra HD TV with Google Cast, $678. Save money, live better. Walmart.
Come my lady, come my lady, you're my butterfly.
Oh my gosh, look at her.
Whoa. Okay, enough of that.
Rated PG.
Will your business be ready when growth presents itself? American Express Open Cards can help you take on a new job. Or fill a big order. Or expand your office and take on whatever comes next. Find out how American Express cards and services can help prepare you for growth at open.com.
Watch Code Black, new CBS Wednesday, 10/9 Central.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by American Express Open, proud supporter of growing businesses, and by Verizon. It's always a great gift on Verizon.
This past week, Packers players visiting with students at Heritage Elementary School, talking about fitness and daily exercise. Here we go. First down, Houston. Morgan Burnett there, along with Elliott, Jones, Pinnell, and Perry. Miller for a couple.
Well, fourth, and it looked like about 2 yards. Aaron Rodgers, I'm pretty sure he had a pass play on. Watch him, he keeps looking to the right. And he looks over here and he sees the tight coverage of the corners. Look how tight they are on the line of scrimmage. So he changes it to a run play. That's just my guess. I think it's a pretty good guess for the defensive line. Reader in there, Wilfork stopped the 4th down run.
Second and 8. Boy, it looked like they changed that play a couple of times and had to beat the snap count, handed it off to Miller just as Pennell was there to meet him for a loss of 4.
Yeah, Jeff Allen gets beat. Right inside, 79-64 gets in there. A couple times we've seen Pennell in the backfield today, too.
Now it's a 3rd and 12. Miller 13 carries for only 17 yards. And they run it again on 3rd and long. Grimes, he's picked it up once and he's done it again. Did that in the first half on a draw, just like that. They have crossed them up a couple of times on 3rd and longs with the ground game. 14 picked up here.
There we go. Right guard. Jeff Allen, gave up a negative run the play before, but he made up for it, getting a good block. Get Grimes up in there for the 1st down. Boy, 3rd down runs against a smaller, aggressive defense has caught Green Bay off guard today.
That was a 3rd and 12. Miller returns to the backfield. Hasn't been able to break one at all today. And he's got another 3. NFL fans, order your holiday gifts from NFLshop.com today and save 25% at the official store of the NFL, NFLshop.com.
Well, good thing here today, it takes a while, and it finally hits me. It did in the first half. I didn't say it. But Houston, 3rd in certain situations, instead of dealing with the blitz, which they were worried about, they've been running the football, and they've had success in some big spots.
That last run by Miller goes for 5. That's his longest carry. Second and 5. Dropped by Hopkins.
Well, that was a blitz. Hopkins, this is why you get. This is what you need. He's got separation. He's going to catch this, and it could be lookout. Break a tackle, but the football, little pressure, but the football, in the NFL, Jim, you got to put that on the money. You got to hit him in stride, and he's got to catch it full stride and take a simple play and make something special out of it.
3rd and 5 with these conditions. I don't know if you'd go 54-yard field goal if you had to.
No, it would be into a little bit of a breeze.
Osweiler gets it away, and Hopkins was not open. The pressure was on him, too, on Osweiler.
Pressure's the word. Clay Matthews unblocked, catch it and throw it before you get smashed into the ground.
So Leckler comes back out to punt.
Clay Matthews gets the edge right away against Chris Clark.
Clay Matthews, who lined up next to Brian Cushing at USC.
A walk-on at USC. How about that? That's just amazing. To this day, I still think about that.
Developed into a first-round pick. Beautiful punt. This is a guy that punted even way back in the Tuck game in a snowstorm long ago. 34-yard beauty that time, down by Don Jones inside the 5.
I just see a black screen.
What are you looking at?
Crazy stuff, man. You gotta see this.
Hey, what is it? It's like some 3D virtual world. Can I see? Look at the moon.
New Money can refund your return shipping costs. So if it's just not doing the trick, you can send it back on us.
Oh, why the Phelps face? Old computer slowing you down? Is it a real drag? You know.
I know. New computers are super fast.
And yet here you are with a new world record for the slowest computer.
You know about it. Now do something about it. Upgrade to a new PC powered by Intel.
What is he doing?
I have no clue.
CBS Tonight. It's a special night of heroes. First, catch Michael Weatherly in TV's #1 news show, Bull.
Great to be me.
Then, it's the hit drama NCIS Los Angeles.
Impressive.
Followed by the new hit series MacGyver.
It's no fun if it's too easy.
It's a night of heroes. CBS Tonight.
Again, my cause, my cleats all around the NFL. Today we showed you the Houston side, a sampling in the first half. Clay Matthews supporting a nonprofit that raises awareness and funds to fight muscular dystrophy. Randall Cobb, the Wisconsin Children's Hospital. Clinton Dix providing resources that encourage students to be confident and successful role models. A little sampling of what's going on. These players and their charitable foundations. First down, Packers backed up at the 2. Unloading it from the end zone. And just trying to get rid of it as the Texans were starting to crash in on him. And these hardy Wisconsin fans taking it all in today.
Yep, this is just another day at the shop. They come here early, they stay.
Fathers and sons, fans that had been prepared for this.
That's some outfit there. We've shown it a couple times today. I don't think he's moved. In a second.
Hey, when the Texans played their only other time at Lambeau Field, the conditions, you could argue, were worse. It was 3 degrees that day back in December of 08. There was no snow. Texans won the game at the end on a Chris Brown field goal. It's about 30 right now with light snow throughout. 2nd and 10. And attached by Richard Rodgers for about 9. Yeah, so much is made about these teams that come from a warm climate like Houston. They're going to come up here, and that's a big topic of discussion. It's written about all week long. And they, again, 8 years ago, they came up here and won. It was 3 degrees at kickoff.
Yeah, well, you know, if you have the right talent, you go, no matter what the conditions are, you'll get it done. And we don't make that big of a deal of teams from the north going down when it's hot as could be down south. But, hey, this cold weather, almost all the players on Houston, they love it. Like I said, maybe the quarterback would like more ideal conditions. 3rd and 1. The Packers able to pick it up. More with Ty Montgomery. They had missed on their last 7 third down tries. You're talking about the second best conversion team in the league. But that time they got it, and a Texan is down. They got it, and Ty Montgomery, the ex-wide receiver, watch him, number 88, walks through, got a little stiff arm there.
Jonathan Joseph, who is down on the field.
That's Bernardrick McKinney. He stiff arms, got his hand right on the helmet.
And that's Joseph, who had that last hit on him.
Well, you know, we were here many weeks ago when this offense was, you know, there's a lot of reasons, conditions, where we saw Ty Montgomery catching more passes, going out of the backfield, wide receiver, a lot of stuff, and haven't seen that today much.
You know, this was going to be, if you look at the way the league schedules games out of conference, this was going to be J.J. Watt's opportunity to return home to Wisconsin. It won't be another 8 years until Houston will have a game up here at Lambeau Field. 2024.
Yep, every 4 years they play each other, but
J.J. with the backing,
Watt,
yeah, IR'd early in the season.
I'm just thinking J.J. Watt, Simon, Clowney. Boy, you know, those are some. This Houston defense. Kevin Johnson. Yeah, I knew I was missing one. You put all those guys out there together. Now, every team could do this and say we're missing guys. But those are some top-end players.
No, you're talking.
Big time.
You're talking a two-time defensive MVP. You're talking about a former overall #1 pick.
I'm not talking about if they were out there in that field. We'd be talking about, hey, this defense is arguably the best in the NFL. That kind of talent. That's so. But you know, that's the NFL. You gotta.
Well, the defense they have is doing a good job so far. 7-7.
Excellent job.
And a few set of downs here. Silent throw. Completes it to Richard Rodgers. That was a exciting 8-yard play in the end.
Well, it was just because Aaron Rodgers, the way he threw the football. We got a flag, I think, on the field.
That carry by Montgomery for 13 yards came on a 3rd and 1. The Packers had been 0 for 3 on 3rd and 1 before that one. It was hard to imagine.
Illegal block in the back, offense number 17. 10-yard penalty, replay, first down.
So they got Adams for that.
Yeah, tough call. It really is. I saw it live, thought, okay, good. But watch what happens. Here he comes inside. Adams hits Kareem Jackson, and you know Jackson's actually turning as he's getting hit. So took a long time for that flag to come out too. But
by the way, Charles James has come in for Jonathan Joseph. That was a spot foul, so it'll be a 1st and 13 at the 21. All kinds of time. And he's able to get 4 or 5 yards out of it. So I mentioned Charles James in for Joseph before the game. This is Charles James.
And what do you say?
Well, he's got a uniform on now.
Yeah. I think it was his way of saying we don't care, we're in Lambeau, and of course he's in shape. That helps. But we don't care what the elements are. We're here to play the game, and we're going to get it done.
2nd and 8. He's going to need to step up as Joseph is missing another snap right here. And again, Rodgers has been able to dance around for a while. And it's off the hands of Adams. Incomplete. Adams still without a catch.
Boy, you talking about been bragging about these guys. Just who do you throw the football to? There is nothing. Now the scramble happens, and they still can't get open. Devontae Adams, a shake, he's out, goes up the sideline. Jackson right with him the whole way.
Well, he's been targeted 5 times. He should have had that one.
Yeah, that's a tough catch. Coming back. Aaron Rodgers, though, moving around, being careful. Receivers not shaking loose.
He's got 3rd and 8. There's a fine catch by Cook for the first down. Pleasant one-on-one with him.
Yep, Eddie Pleasant covers the tight end. Just a good little out route by Jared Cook. Twice today we've seen him do it. Big first down for the Packers.
Hey, we're tied going to the 4th quarter at Lambeau Field. We'll return after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
A game of honor. The Army-Navy game presented by USAA, Saturday on CBS.
Double meat and cheese, classic. Grilled onions and Thousand Island, classic. All for just $2.49, really classic. The new Hardee's Classic Double Cheeseburger for just $2.49.
Team, This isn't an even playing field. We're grade A auto parts. We do it all. We give choices. Clint, what are those choices?
A quality selection of new and used auto parts, Coach.
Good. We give great customer service. Vicky, why do we do this?
Customers are the most important part of our business, Coach.
Excellent. We also buy scrap metal. Alex, what does that mean?
Fast cash for your scrap, Coach.
No matter the part, big or small, you can count on Grade A Auto Parts.
Why would you do your Christmas shopping where you just bought your pumpkin pie? Because Christmas shopping at Meijer is easier than online. No accounts to create, emails to confirm, or days to wait for shipping. Just surf over to the next aisle for all the great deals everyone else is searching for. Like amazing BOGOs on all board games and video games too. All week long. Just put them into your cart, a real cart with your actual hands, and take them home. It's as easy as pie. It's the season to believe. You get more at Meijer.
Today, we honor the craftsman behind the finest beer with the finest beer cheese on a burger. The Beer Cheese Bacon Burger and Beer Cheese Bacon Fries at Hardee's.
Share with a child in need. Drop off a toy at WLKY during weekday business hours.
Look at the heaters, the blowers. Gene Steratore.
Just get out of the way.
Yeah.
It's like a bunch of sheep, you know, when you get a chance to get over in front of the heater to get warm. George Godsey, offensive coordinator with Brock Osweiler.
So we start the fourth with a first down, Green Bay. At its own 36. And a tie game at 7. Completes it to Adams. Able to get away from the Texans. Still on his feet. What a tremendous effort by Davante Adams.
Yep, that was just a lot of will and attitude after the catch.
But one official says he might have been out back near midfield.
The ruling on the field is the runner stepped out of bounds at the 47.5-yard line. First down, Green Bay.
Oh, I don't think so.
Here it comes this way.
There it is, no question.
Boy, that's a good eye. That's close, but it's out of bounds. And the official was looking. You could see him chasing him down the sideline right behind him and saw it. So, crowd's booing. Let's don't get over the fact. What a move and what a throw by Aaron Rodgers to get that throw to Davante Adams.
It still goes for 17. Adams, who's been on a tear, especially over a 2-game stretch where he had 25 receptions. But this last month and a half, he's got big numbers. They run it with Montgomery.
Merciless.
To about the 43. Brought down by Merciless. You see the first 5 games, he had 15 catches. Best in the NFL over the last 6 games. With 43 grabs.
It's a different offense. You know, years ago, back when the Packers won that Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, it was all downfield throwing. Now it's a much shorter passing game, so you got to catch the football, make somebody miss, get those extra yards.
Second down. In Houston territory. Rodgers dancing. Pucks it under. Got the first. And safely slides to about the 30.
Don't know why he didn't throw it to Ty Montgomery, who's wide open. He looked right at him, but I guess he wanted something deep down the field. To his right in the flat, nobody was on him, but Aaron Rodgers sometimes will turn down a short throw just because he expects somebody to open up down the field later.
He slides on that left leg. Got up hobbling a little bit, but he's ready to go on a first down snap from the 32. Shoulder incomplete. Trying to connect with Adams again. JB and Boomer. Let's get the update.
Atlanta is potent.
Yeah, they are, and they're coming back into this game. Devontae Freeman, 1-yard touchdown run. Atlanta fails on the 2-point attempt. Chiefs lead the Falcons 27-22 at the start of the fourth quarter.
Back to Jim Nance.
All right, thank you, fellas. They went for the 2 there with 11.5 to go in the game and failed, so 5-point margin. And this is Rodgers.
Oh, it's Antonio Smith. Late, fell down and hit him in the right at the knee. He got up. Patel had bothered him and hurt him.
Second down. Now, wide open for the touchdown. It's Jordy Nelson.
That's why he takes that extra time. I mean, that illustrates everything. And that time, Jordy Nelson was in the slot, goes down the field.
This completes a 98-yard drive.
Boy, good movement in the pocket as usual. And Charles James on the slot. Goes down the field. He slips and falls, and Jordy Nelson wide open, uncovered for the touchdown.
And again, the secondary without Jonathan Joseph with the rib injury suffered in the third quarter. Nelson, who beat him for 3 touchdown catches the last time they played. Has another one today. Extra point good. Second touchdown pass of the game for Rodgers. That's 98 yards and 12 plays to take the lead at 14-7.
The most magical time of the year is also the perfect time to take home a new Honda. Like the Accord, the best-selling car in America. Hurry into the Happy Honda Day sales event, only at your Honda dealer.
Viagra single packs. So guys with ED can take Viagra when they need it.
Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain or Adempas for pulmonary hypertension. Your blood pressure could drop to an unsafe level. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease or loss in vision or hearing.
Ask your doctor about Viagra single packs.
The father of Kansas City barbecue invented his delicious smoked meats on a Thursday. Just imagine what this Thursday will bring when the Raiders clash with the Chiefs. Anything can happen on Thursday. Thursday Night Football Thursday on NFL Network, NBC, and streaming on Twitter.
You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Second longest drive of Rodgers' career. It's the longest of the season for the Packers, and it's now 7 consecutive games. He's thrown for at least 2 touchdowns.
Well, let's see, Jim Nance. You said, wow, what a throw. I mean, it's, you know, these conditions, everything moving to your left. Those are 45 yards right in there, so he is an all-weather throw, no question.
Team Hunt gets tripped up. That was Elliott who prevented him from getting wide.
Nothing like a linebacker defensive end being on the kickoff team.
Got him by the shoe.
Grabbed it.
Rodgers was watching that tackle.
Yep, he knows this is a big moment, big drive. They finally drive down, get the touchdown.
I said the second longest of his career, that drive. That's the longest he's engineered since the 09 season. open. It's Fuller. Contact knocked down right away by Rollins. Tonight, what does the Speaker of the House think he and President-elect Donald Trump will be able to get done for America? Find out from Paul Ryan, only on 60 Minutes tonight. The snow hasn't abated throughout this game. It started at sunup. That's out for Blue. And that's a good run for the Texans.
Very good.
Picks up 10.
Philo, the left guard, came across. Watch 71 come across, gets a little kick out. Alfred Blue. Bill O'Brien kind of said he's ready to go. Of course, he wanted to go with Lamar Miller, but was going to give Alfred Blue his share of the carries.
And Blue, who's been battling a calf injury. Push down, play action. Looking long, flings it, and knocked down. Fuller, the target. That was Gunter who broke it up.
Well, Darius Gunter seen a lot of footballs thrown his way this year. There's no question. Coming in, wasn't expected to be a starter, but all over the coverage that time. Good position, good play. They lost Sam Shields. I think the starter, they lost him after week 1.
Second and 10. Toss him up on the ground again. And that's another beautiful run by Blue. Linton Dix rides him down, but not until the Texans take it to the Packers side of the field. That's a rush of 25.
Well, here comes the guard around, almost the same look. And nobody is on the edge to help keep the runner inside. And that was Demarius Randall, who got looking inside and let Blue get out for the big run.
It's the longest play of the game for Houston.
You know, when you're supposed to be the outside defender, if you have to back up to the sideline, you go there.
Osweiler in trouble. Able to complete it, but it's also going to be a big loss. Guyon was waiting for Blue. And it was Ryan who was all over the quarterback.
Jake Ryan went out of the game with that ankle, we think, but he comes back in. 47 just gets in there, and boy, he's really done a good job. He watches to see what the line is doing and what the back is doing, Jim, and then he takes off on the blitz, and he's timed it up well about 3 times today.
It would have been better for Blue just to drop it. Instead, it's a catch and a loss of 9. Second and 19. Again, going underneath. It's Blue. And a collision at the 44. Update time. Back to JB and Boomer.
You got to be a tough guy to play quarterback in this league. Watch Matthew Stafford stand in this pocket and take a hit as he delivers the football to Golden Tate. Golden Tate does the rest. He's going to go 66 yards. Matthew Stafford on the day, 29 of 40, 332 yards, 2 TDs. They fell in their 2-point attempt. They lead 25-13. Back to Jim Nance.
Maybe a crushing loss for the Saints, who are trying to get back to 500. Meantime, the Packers trying to keep pace. Trying to stay within range of the Lions. They come into the weekend 2 games back. 3rd and 7. Away, incomplete. Going to Fiedorowicz. And Micah Hyde broke it up.
Well, that time they put their extra defensive back on Fiedorowicz. Micah Hyde, their #1 extra defensive back, I should say. Good cover guy, can do a little bit of everything. We've seen a lot of those today where the football is on target, right? And the defender is there to knock it away. So no separation once again.
And Hyde would have kept him short of the first period anyway. As as Leckler sends it down to Cobb at the 10 with the fair catch. We're inside 9 minutes to go in Green Bay. Packers with the football and the lead.
The most magical time of the year is also the perfect time to take home a new Honda. Like the versatile CR-V, a KBB.com Best Buy for 2016. Hurry into the Happy Honda Day sales event, only at your Honda dealer.
One big push. You got one more? Here we go.
Congrats! I hear you're having a baby.
Very good, just breathe. Here we go.
You better start saving for college tuition. And you'll probably need a bigger house at some point. But New York Life can help you manage your family's financial future, so you can relax and enjoy life's special moments. Like this moment. That's what being good at life is all about, right?
Be good at life. New York Life.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Honda. Hurry in for great deals during Happy Honda Days. New York Life. With the right guidance, everyone can be good at life. And by Walmart. Find gifts, groceries, and more this season.
The Packers back home for the first time in 4 weeks. Trying to get back to 6-6 on the season. They have a streak of 7 consecutive years of being in the postseason. That's matched only by New England. And they need a win here today to keep the playoffs within range. They still got to make up ground, even with a win. They do have Detroit the last week of the season.
Green 18!
They start at the 11 with the handoff to Montgomery. And the Texans are on them at the 14.
Well, Aaron Rodgers talked about the hamstring that's not 100%. He got his foot stepped on. Slid, kind of felt that hamstring a little bit. Of course, everything he does is going to feel a little. And then he got fallen on. But listen, overall, the pass protection, without question, it's not good. It's been outstanding. Excellent pass protection almost every game when you watch Green Bay.
2nd and 7. Nelson makes the catch and is able to duck under Corey Moore, who was flying in there at the end. Picks up 21 right here.
Goes around the first. They're looking inside. Caught the corner. There we go. Here's the, watch the tight end come out. Watch Jordy Nelson go down the sideline. And Corey Moore does not get over there quick enough to allow that. Of course, he doesn't face many quarterbacks that make that kind of throw.
Nelson now with 7 catches for 90 yards and a touchdown.
Hey, toe. Over. Green 19!
Montgomery. He waited for that to piece together. Good running and patience exhibited there by Montgomery for another first down.
Yep. They're going to have to find, we hear this from the Green Bay Packers a lot. They got a lot of people they want to get the football to, but this is one guy that needs to see it more. And he's proven it every time I watch him when he gets the football, that he's a more capable runner than you think he could be since he was a wide receiver in college. He started out here as a wide receiver.
Well, there's a matchup on the outside that Rodgers might be aware of. They've lost Joseph, then they've lost Charles James. At the top, it's 32. Robert Nelson on Devontae Adams. He's going the other way. Looking down the field, and that was cooked. Covered up by Pleasant.
Yep, both sides covered pretty well. Pleasant, safety. And really, you take it, bottom of the screen. You know why he wants it? Because he goes, I got a really big, tall tight end here. And the underthrow would have probably been the best throw for Cook to make a catch. But excellent coverage by Pleasant.
Cook had a 100-yard receiving game at Washington a couple of weeks ago. It's the third different team in his career he's had a 100-yard game. They hope he's healthy the remainder of this season. They got big plans for him as Rodgers has to call the timeout. Osweiler and the Texans hoping the defense can give them some time here to do something. 6.5 to go. Remember, Houston has only one timeout left, burning those 2 off in the third quarter. And the consecutive playoff seasons, I mentioned 7 for New England, clearly on its way to making it 8 consecutive, and in a romp today over the Rams. That's not final yet. But the Packers is the one that's up in limbo right now.
Oh, absolutely. But we can see why. I mean, it's just the situation they're in, you know, creating plays, whatever here, the conditions here. But, yeah, the Packers are in for a struggle. They might have to run the table to get to the playoffs. They believe they can. Of course, when you watch them, especially, you feel the momentum of their offense. Once it gets going, it just dictates everything for their football team, even their defense.
Well, they've had backs to the wall, so to speak, so many times. This is not unfamiliar territory for them late in the season. Even when they won Super Bowl 45, they came via the 6th seed, winning all 3 playoff games to get to Dallas on the road and then knocking out Pittsburgh for the title. 2nd and 10. Montgomery squirming and fighting for every inch to the 50, and that was Nelson who brought him down.
Couple things here. The time on the clock, you said it, 1 timeout left for Houston. Whitney Merciless said last night, hey, as a defense, we need to make that stand or that moment that helps us get a victory. This would be one right here.
This is that occasion, Phil.
This is it.
You've set the stage.
A field goal, you let them get down there and kick a field goal, that's could almost end the game.
They need 6 for the first. Rodgers floats it. Pass is caught. It's Nelson. He battled against Jackson for the football, and he came down with it.
Jordy Nelson. He's the front man for the 3 guys to the left, and the throw. And Jordy Nelson, what he does, watching, the coverage is good, but watch his hands. Just goes up, strong hands, just overpowers Jackson for the catch. Oh my gosh, Jackson had his hand in between and still couldn't knock it out.
How about this game by Nelson in these conditions? Now 118 yards on 8 catches. And the touchdown that has them in front. And now they go end around here to Janis. Janis to the 5 and tackled down at the 3 by Jackson. Jeff Janis running the football for the first time this year, the backup wide receiver.
Here he comes from the outside, or going around. Richard Rodgers gets the block against Dimps. That gives him an extra 10 or 15 yards. Really good call. Big moment. Defense being overly aggressive. And you throw a little reverse in there, catches them off guard.
And it picks up 19. Montgomery, the tailback. He's run hard. Maybe they'll give him the carry. No, they go inside. Ripkowski. He carries Texans with him to the end zone.
My gosh. Lowest man wins, right? Ripkowski got so low that you could not get your pads underneath his to make the tackle.
Well, they went earlier in this quarter on a 98-yard drive, and now they've completed an 89-yard touchdown drive to open up now a 2-score lead.
Everybody moving right. Boy, that is some job. That was a quick handoff to Ripkowski.
Second straight week that Ripkowski, the second-year fullback out of Oklahoma, has scored a touchdown. And Crosby for the extra point. The native just outside of Austin, Texas native, adds the extra point. That's the first rush touchdown in the last 7 home games for the Packers. Buck 14.
There are some people you should give underwear to this holiday. And there are some people you shouldn't. You shouldn't give underwear to everybody, but for those you do, give them Fruit of the Loom.
It was hard enough finding the right girl, but the perfect ring, there's no pressure there.
You found the perfect girl. Now let me and the diamond experts at Zales help you find the perfect ring. The Vera Wang Love Collection, designed for Zales, the diamond store.
I'm Clay Matthews, and I'm good at football. And so is Verizon. Because now you can watch every live, local, and primetime game on your phone with NFL Mobile, exclusively on Verizon. All without using your data. That's better than good. It's the best. And I'm the best. Watch live NFL games, NFL Red Zone, and more with NFL Mobile, all in HD, only on America's best network.
The most magical time of the year is also the perfect time to take home a new Honda, KBB.com's best value brand. Hurry into the Happy Honda Day sales event and discover the Pilot, CR-V, and new Ridgeline. Right now at your Honda dealer.
Monday. Did we get your attention? Because TV's #1 new comedy has Billy Joel. Boom, Shaka Khan. A new Kevin Can Wait, then on Man with a Plan.
It's quiet.
A little too quiet.
Something's afoot.
And that rug is on the wall.
A little too on the wall.
Are you done, Columbo?
A new episode after a new Kevin Can Wait, CBS Monday.
Ripkowski scoring the touchdown. Rodgers with 3 on the ground this year. Scores, that is. The rest of the team, that would be 2, and they both belong to the man who just scored, Ripkowski.
Some of the throws by Rodgers today has really kind of been the difference.
Runs it out across the 20. Well, 4 minutes to go. And the Texans down 2 touchdowns and only 1 timeout.
The most magical time of the year is also the perfect time to take home a new Honda, KBB.com's best value brand. Hurry in to the Happy Honda Day sales event and discover the Civic, Fit, and HR-V. Right now at your Honda dealer.
Alexa, ask Tracker to find my phone.
Okay.
Oh no.
Alexa, what do I have on my calendar this afternoon?
You have a dentist appointment at 2 o'clock.
Alexa, how many calories in a chicken wing?
Chicken wing contains 312 calories.
Anybody know where the potato salad is?
This stuff is on fire. Somebody call the fire department.
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these.
This stuff is on fire. Someone better call the fire department.
More people save by combining their home and auto with State Farm to help life go right.
Watch Michael Weatherly in TV's #1 new show, Bull, CBS Tuesday.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by K Jewelers. For 100 years, every kiss begins with K. And by Subway. Try the classic Reuben, stacked with corned beef. Limited time only.
Next week on CBS, regional action. The primary game will be at Buffalo. The Steelers against the Bills. Check your local listings, and it all gets started at noon Eastern time with the NFL Today, presented by Southwest Airlines. Houston will be traveling to Indianapolis next week, having won 8 straight division games. The Texans. Oh, that's a tough one. That's Clinton Dix delivering the blow on Fuller, who somehow manages to hold on.
Clinton Dix, Morgan Burnett, big hits, really 2 terrific safeties. I mean, they're sure tacklers. They can cover. Cover a lot of ground. You throw the football up in the air.
6-yard gain. Clock running. 3.5. Osweiler's pass. Dangerous. And falls incomplete. Tipped up in the air by Joe Thomas. We've got an update.
What a turn of events, Boone.
Take it away.
And what an update, guys. Atlanta takes a 28-27 lead on an Aldrick Robinson touchdown. They go for 2. Matt Ryan throws the interception. It's Eric Berry. He returns it for 2. Kansas City takes the lead 29-28. Atlanta has to kick off to Kansas City.
Well, Jim, they should have given him more points just for the distance run. Back to Jim Nance.
How about the AFC West? We saw the Broncos do the same thing against the Saints to win a game. A 2-point play the other way. That was on a block PAT. Here's a 3rd and 4. Osweiler somehow got it away. Griffin fights for the first down. Give him 5 yards. Again, Texans have only 1 timeout left. They better start moving.
Yep, got to move. 1 timeout, 2-minute warning. You said it. Beto Jones right there to hit Brock Osweiler. This is he lets the football go.
Hopkins at the top. He has only 1 catch today for 11 yards. Open as Grimes. Middle of the field. Fighting for yardage near the 50. And the Packers make the tackle at the 47.
Green Bay just has so many guys that are nimble and can rush the passer, so they can keep their guys fresh. They just ran Clay Matthews back on the field going, okay, you've had a break. You know he's going to throw it. Can you get to the quarterback?
Osweiler open again. It's Griffin who caught the Texans touchdown in the 3rd quarter. And a flag in on this play as well.
Pass interference. Offense number 84. 10-yard penalty. Replay. First down.
Well, how do you get wide open? It's good call. Ryan Griffin, 84, going against Morgan Burnett, extended his arms. Really didn't affect the play much, but all the official sees is both arms going out, making contact. They're going to throw the flag.
It's the first penalty against the Texans since the opening quarter. Ball back at the 38. And a 1st and 20. Great catch. Griffin just got flagged for the pass interference, and he bounces off a couple of defenders. He gets within 1 of a first.
Excellent throw, too, by Brock Osweiler.
2-minute warning. Green Bay leads it 21-7. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Introducing the Reuben from Subway, a sandwich as full of intrigue as it is flavor. Some say it was invented by deli owner Arnold Reuben, others by Reuben Kolakowski during a poker game, and some insist it was Hollywood starlet Marjorie Rambeau in a fit of crazed hunger. Seriously, the Reuben's past may be debatable, but its great taste is not. Stacked with lean corned beef, Bavarian-style sauerkraut, Swiss cheese, and Thousand Island dressing on new freshly baked rye bread. We don't know where it came from, but we know where you can get it. Only at Subway.
It's your TV. Take it with you. With DirecTV and AT&T, stream live TV anywhere, data-free. Join DirecTV today, starting at $35 a month. No extra monthly fees.
Keep on sunny side, always on sunny side. Keep on sunny side of life. When we keep on sunny side of life.
The most magical time of the year is also the perfect time to take home a new Honda. Like the Accord, the best-selling car in America. Hurry into the Happy Honda Day sales event, only at your Honda dealer.
What does the Speaker of the House think he and President-elect Trump will be able to get done?
That's the first thing you're going to do.
Yeah, Find out from Paul Ryan on 60 Minutes tonight.
I know you're scared. There was nothing you could have done then. But now, with me, you can make a difference.
Coming up, the Subway postgame show. JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, Coach Cowher, all the scores and highlights. That wild one down in Atlanta just when it looked like the Falcons might pull off the big comeback. I had the lead on a touchdown pass, went for the 2, and it went the other way for 2. And a winner, it appears, as they're inside 2 minutes to go. And the Chiefs have the football, and the Falcons have no timeouts. Plus other scores and highlights coming up. Subway postgame show. Here we got 2 minutes to go. Houston has 1 timeout. Down 2 touchdowns. Osweiler guns it. Hopkins open. Zigzags past the defenders. And he has the touchdown. His first since October the 6th.
Well, same thing we saw. We saw Aaron Rodgers throw a football for a big gain to Jordy Nelson. Here's the corner. Here's the safety. Hopkins goes down the sideline. Micah Hyde just doesn't get wide enough. Then he comes over, overruns it. Good job by Hopkins cutting back inside and keeping the home to the Texans alive. What a throw, what a catch.
Hopkins, just his second catch of the game, but his first touchdown since the Minnesota game back in early October.
Did you just do Usain Bolt? Is that what that was? Or something? No.
78 yards the Texans go in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Extra point is no good. Novak missed it.
Just pushed it to the right. Looks like he might have slipped. See if his foot. Well, the plant foot was nice and solid, Jim. It didn't slip. He did fall afterwards, though.
More out of disappointment. Now remember, Novak successfully delivered an onside kick just last week. It was the exact same scenario, even the same score last week against San Diego. And they ending up on the short end of this very, very exact same tally right now at 21-13.
Well, first off, yeah, bad miss, but good drive by the Texans to drive down the field to give themselves a chance for this onside kick. Really good throws by Osweiler on that last drive.
I'll tell you, that's pretty impressive. 4 out of 8 career That's record territory to be 50%.
Absolutely. This field, well, I would think would help. You know, the slipping, the field, the conditions.
Onside kick try by Houston. Recovered by the Packers. Davante Adams falls on it.
It's the new onside kick we're seeing. It's really got to be tough to handle. And Davante Adams, watch how it spins. The side spin, you don't know what kind of bounce it's going to take. Man. A good shot of it right there. Look how it just stays, and that ball could have bounced anywhere, but nice recovery by Adams.
I'd like to welcome the audience just joining us. Kansas City Chiefs come off that thrilling win on Sunday night in Denver for another thrilling victory, this time in Atlanta in the most improbable fashion. It's the second game this year that's been won by an AFC West team on the road with a 2-point run back for the margin of victory. Jim Mansfield, Sims, Tracy Wolfson here. And the Texans could only stop the clock one time. 1:50 to go. Aaron Rodgers has thrown 2 touchdowns. It's been snowing throughout. Packers trying to get back to level at 6-6 on the year. It's Antonio Smith wrapping up right away. Kristen Michael and the Subway postgame show will be coming up for everybody. Those of you who've been with us from the start on this one, as well as the audience is getting the bonus coverage right now, who had been watching that Kansas City Atlanta game. So the Packers' remaining schedule, as the Texans have called their last time out. Seattle is here next, and then a game at Chicago. Minnesota comes to Lambeau in Week 17 at Detroit.
Well, you look at this game, the Packers did just enough on the offensive side to win this. Aaron Rodgers came down to him making a few outstanding plays to get him some scores. For the Houston Texans, hey, they got to feel like on the defensive side, we did what we could do here. They gave up only 21 points. It took some spectacular plays by Rodgers to get those 21.
So Rodgers ready to step in here, knowing that the Texans cannot stop the clock again. Michael, contact right away again by Antonio Smith for the second straight play. Houston again goes to Indianapolis next week, and the Texans have this win streak going inside the division, having won their last 8 AFC South encounters. Now, if Indianapolis beats the Jets tomorrow, you'll have a 3-way tie in the AFC South between Tennessee, Indianapolis, and Houston, all at 6-6. Assuming that this one's going to stay with Green Bay, about to snap it at 3rd and 8.
That division is going to Week 17. We're going to find out who's going to win it Sunday night, Week 17, because that's the way it looks. All the teams so even, no matter home or away, either team could win the game.
So Rodgers calls timeout as he takes it down as far as he could.
Well, let's look at some throws from Aaron Rodgers here today. Just some things that he did. How about the move outside the pocket and finding Jordy Nelson for the touchdown? How about that hole shot which led to a touchdown? Another great throw too to Jordy Nelson. And however Aaron Rodgers played today, he's going to be better next week because that hamstring is going to feel better. And he fought through. It was tough. Decision making. Maybe not as nimble as we usually see him, but still put up good numbers and led his team to a victory.
When we visited with him this week, what did he say? The same thing he had told his teammates before the Philadelphia game. I feel like we can make a run and win out. That was his message.
Yep. He does a lot of things. He's great to talk to. We talked about his athletic ability, which everybody underplays. And he goes, you know, and you said it earlier, Jim, you know, I play with a little chip on my shoulder. So I don't know what it is. Maybe because he wasn't drafted in or went to a major college right out of high school. Could be the draft, but whatever he carries around, it works for him.
3rd and 8. And the Texans bring him down quickly, and this can run the clock down to about 12 seconds.
Well, really good effort, though, I thought, today by the Houston Texans. And go back to what we started the game with Bill O'Brien. They finally made a big play at the end of the game to DeAndre Hopkins. But as they go forward to win this division, they're just going to have to find ways to score more points. That's the story when you talk about this football team. Even without Clowney out there today, you know, one of their best defensive linemen is still hung in there.
Timeout Green Bay, and now, barring some bizarre happenings here on this punt by Shum, the Packers will have their 6th victory and their 2nd straight after 4 consecutive losses. Now Fuller is back deep. He has returned to punt this year for a touchdown. He's a speedster out of Notre Dame.
You got to kick this football out of bounds, I would think, or unless you think you can kick it into the end zone without the return.
And is headed to the sideline as prescribed by you with 4 seconds to go. Green Bay, meanwhile, goes to 6-6 into a tie with the Vikings. Minnesota did beat them in the one matchup they've had this year. And Detroit's going to win that game. They're down to the last minute in New Orleans. They're up 15. So it's going to be a 2-game lead for the Lions over the Vikings and the Packers.
I'll tell you what, when Aaron Rodgers said we got to run the table or run this out, they might have to give themselves a chance to win. Because Detroit Lions, that was an impressive victory for them down in New Orleans. We saw them in person Thanksgiving Day. Hey, they got a quarterback that plays pretty well under pressure, Matthew Stafford. And a great kicker, of course, in the clutch, too.
Hopkins to Fuller to Miller. Goes all the way back to Osweiler. Osweiler's in trouble getting knocked down in the end zone. Grimes. And he still has the ball in the air to a lineman. Ball squirts out to Montgomery, who flings it, and flags are down on the field.
Yeah, forward lateral down by
Legal forward pass, offense. Penalty is declined, and this is the end of the game.
Ball game over. Yeah, a couple of forward passes is never a good idea. But the Packers prevail here, 21-13. Both teams walk off the field at 6-6. The Green Bay game is final. The Detroit game has 2 seconds to go. They're going to win that game, so you might as well advance them in the brackets. They'll be at 8-4. And, well, they need to pick up a game on Detroit between now and week 17, because they will be meeting in Detroit on January the 1st. So you've got Houston and Tennessee at 6-6. Indianapolis plays tomorrow night against the Jets. Houston right now has all the tiebreakers with its undefeated record inside the division. But the Packers have now suddenly put themselves back in position after floundering for a month, losing all of those games in a row, 4 in a row.
Well, they got a chance. I'll say this about the Packers. Like their defense, like their style of play, and they just got to stay healthy on the offensive side, especially at the quarterback position. He always gives you a chance to get it done, Aaron Rodgers. Hey, they stalled out for a long period of time today. Then after a couple big throws, the game turned around.
Aaron Rodgers and the Packers will be hosting Seattle next week, trying to get back above 500. They win it here today, 21-13. Subway postgame show is next. For Phil and Tracy, Jim Nance saying so long from Green Bay. And we'll continue with the Subway postgame show right after this.